Is it on? I can't tell. Is it on? Of course. How many videos have I made by now? So, just thought that was funny. It's a set of reading glasses, you know, the kind you get at CVS. You know, the older I'm getting, the easier it is to read with a set of glasses. So, I'm 39. I'll be 40 next year. Anyway, no scenery this week. I took scenery. It was just to Lubbock and back, basically. So, not really a whole lot worth doing. I haven't had time to work on it. The weekend's been very busy. I went to the wedding. I got home last Thursday, or Thursday last week, and kind of, you know, got packed, did laundry, got packed, made sure everything was good to go. Got up Friday, went down to Austin. And the Lincoln decided about an hour outside of Austin to start missing. I did get it to Austin, and I just lifted around Austin. I don't like Uber, so I use Lyft. I lifted around Austin all weekend. Wedding was nice. It was a good wedding, and got to see my family, my dad's side of the family. I hadn't seen them in 2 years. You know, we talk all the time, but you know, haven't seen them in person. You know, so that was really nice. And it was at a bar, and stayed at the bar and listened to the band that night. It was a great band. It was a soul band. Cannot remember the name. Got to dance a little bit, got to flirt a little bit, got drunk a bit. And then I went back to the hotel room and passed out. Sunday drove home, car ran, never missed a beat, all the way to the apartment. Decided that I was going to go with my little Bluetooth OBD2 thing. And see if I couldn't figure out what was going on with it. There's no codes or anything. I think it just needs a tune-up at this point. So, went over to my uncle's house on my mom's side over in Fort Worth. I have stuff shipped to his house when I order stuff because there's always somebody there, generally. And there's places to hide packages, whereas here there's not always somebody here, and there's not always a good place to hide packages and everything. So, 4 things by Sunday evening. One was this package of can motors for doing model railroad stuff. So we'll see how that goes. You know, I'm gonna try it out a little bit. One was this, okay. So this is a DVD-ROM. When was the last time you heard the term DVD-ROM? But there's a guy that the name of his company is Tap Lines. Hold on. Yeah, that's right. I'm doing it. www.taplines.net, TAPLINES.net. His email is photos, PHOTOS, at taplines.net. This DVD-ROM that I have here in my hand holds a lot of information about the Santa Fe Railroad. Now, if you have been paying attention to, if you're one of the people that watches all of my videos, you know I've been doing a lot of research in the Santa Fe Railroad, doing some modeling of the Santa Fe Railroad. And I've hyper-fixated on it because ADHD. And I have got to have as much information about Santa Fe Railroad now as humanly possible. So I got this. Got some good information on it. Is it worth the $20 I spent? I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say no. So it's got good information on it. I found good information that I like. So that's good. I got this. Passenger train consist of the Santa Fe Railroad, January 1937. That is a very specific book, is it not? I didn't know these books existed until about a couple months ago. And then once I knew they existed, this isn't even the one I want. The one I want, this is by Robert J. Wainer. Robert J. Wainer, I think. Why his name's not on here? I have no idea. But anyway. So, what this book does is it talks about the cars that ran in the different trains. That's what a passenger consist is. So the different passenger cars are made up of different trains. So, for instance, earlier it did it for me. Let's see if it does again. Haha, it did. This is like my 5th try to make this video. The Ranger. Train 5 and 6. between Chicago and Galveston. Here's the timetable for the train, and over here on this side are all the cars that ran the train and their beginning points and end points. So not all the cars went all the way through from Chicago to Galveston. Some did, some did not. We'll take some of these sleepers, for instance. This 10-section sleeper did go Chicago to Galveston. The next one down didn't. It came in from Denver, went to Galveston, but it came in on train 16 at Newton, Kansas, and was transferred onto this train and then went to Galveston from Newton, Kansas. Here's one Chicago to Oklahoma City, got dropped off in Oklahoma City, and so on and so forth. That's what this is about. This helps with modeling Santa Fe trains, which is why I got this book. So, there's that one. And then I got another one, and it's this one. System Employee Timetables of the Gulf, Colorado and Santa Fe Railroad. One of the problems that I've had in looking at my locomotive assignment chart that I have, which is on this, and also I found one on the computer online somewhere that I've saved, is that the locomotives are assigned to different divisions. The Slayton Division, the Plains Division, the Northern Division, the Southern Division, the Valley Division. I don't know what the different divisions are. So how am I supposed to know where that locomotive is assigned? I can kind of get at the Gulf Division. That's probably the Gulf of Mexico. So it's probably Texas. This gave me 3 divisions. The Gulf Division, the Northern Division, and the Southern Division of the Gulf, Colorado, and Santa Fe Railway. The Gulf, Colorado, and Santa Fe Railway was not originally a railroad that was owned by the big Santa Fe Railway, which was the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway. They started out on their own, and the AT&SF bought them sometime in the late 1800s, early 1900s, because they wanted to get into Texas, and this railroad already existed in Texas, and it already had the name Santa Fe in it. So, but that's only important if you, as a historian, know that the state of Texas required that any railroad that operated inside the state of Texas be headquartered inside the state of Texas. So, a lot of railroads started other railroads inside Texas, and then headquartered them in Texas, and then kept them as a subsidiary. So the Texas and New Orleans is one of those. The Fort Worth and Denver City, which later the Fort Worth and Denver, was owned by the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy. That was one. And there were other different things. So I picked all this stuff up on Sunday. I came back home. Monday, I went out to look at a house. Not to buy a house, but to rent a house. A few weeks ago, my brother said that he was thinking about moving. And I got to thinking, do I really want to live in this apartment? You know, there's another apartment here in Waxahachie, further into town, that I think I would love to go and live in. However, Waxahachie has changed a lot since we moved out here in 95. And I'm beginning to not like the demeanor of the people that live in Waxahachie. So, that's nothing against the town itself. It's against the way people are. There's a lot of people here now. When we moved out here, there were probably 18,000 people living in Waxahachie. Now there's probably 30,000 people. I'd rather live in a town of 18,000. So, a friend of mine, her dad owns some properties out in West Texas, in a small town, and I called her up and I said, hey, my brother's talking about moving. I think it's probably time I move along too. What does your dad have? And she goes, oh, he's got this perfect little house. So, little craftsman style house, probably built late 20s. Still has the original doors on it, still has the original windows on it. Great little house. And so I went out there yesterday to see it. And if I rent it, and I'm not saying I'm not saying I am, but that's where I'm working towards. I'm working towards going to rent that house. I think it'll be a great little house for me to kind of not necessarily settle down in, but the move from, you know, apartment living to house living, and then, you know, from there to to property, owning property myself. So that's what we're working on yesterday. By the time I got back to my uncle's house in Fort Worth, my uncle on my mother's side went with me. This had arrived. Iron Horses of the Santa Fe Trail. Look at the size of this book. This thing is huge. This is a pictorial history of the locomotives that operated on the Santa Fe Railroad. So I'm hoping that this will shine some light into the different divisions, or other information that I may be able to pick up from this book will be helpful in my modeling of the Santa Fe Railroad. Remember, I said hyperfixation, ADHD, people. This is why all of this is happening. Anyway, so that's that. Now I have to get serious, because I should have been on the road today, and I'm not. And the reason is I found out that my aunt and uncle, the father and mother of my cousin who got married in Austin this weekend, have tested positive for COVID-19. So that means that I have to get tested for COVID-19 as well. I saw them Friday and Saturday. So the earliest I can probably get tested and come up with a positive test, if I do have it, is tomorrow or Thursday, and the latest is going to be Thursday or Friday. So I'm aiming for Thursday to go get tested. I don't want to come up positive, obviously, for COVID. I'd like to go back out on the road and make some money. But if I do, I have to be quarantined for 10 days. Now, more than likely, I'm probably not going to get sick. I have been vaccinated. My aunt and uncle have been vaccinated. However, they did get sick and are suffering some effects from it. My aunt specifically had a headache and wasn't feeling well. Was feeling really tired and everything. So I got that phone call today. So we're sitting at home right now, not doing much anything except researching the Santa Fe Railroad, the railroad, to an extent that is probably ridiculous. Oh, look, it's a Santa Fe Railroad timetable from 1953, and that I didn't do that on purpose. I was just trying to stack these together and move them out of the way because I kind of felt like it was in my way. So anyway, that's part of my research that I've been doing. So anyway, good news, because I always like to end on good news. So, as you guys know, if you follow me, you know that I have a TikTok. And my TikTok is Big Mike Trucking, same as it is here. I don't make any money off of TikTok. I don't make any money off of YouTube. None at all. And I have been making TikTok videos. Well, I made one that has gone viral. And I'm going to show it to you now.
Winds in the east, mist coming in. Like something is brewing, about to begin. Can't put me finger on what lies in store. But I feel what's to happen. All happened before.
That video has, at last count, 37,000 people have seen it since I posted it on Thursday last week. So in a week. That's a lot in a week. And then my followers on TikTok have gone up like from 430, I think. The last number I saw was 675. So more than 200 at this point. It's the Rona. So that's really something. You know, I'm not looking to be TikTok famous. I'm not looking to make money off of TikTok. TikTok for me is a creative release. It allows me to be the creative person that I am inside. And so it was fun to make the video. It's fun to watch what's going on right now with the whole going viral or whatever. So that's pretty much it. I think that's all I have to tell you guys for tonight. Anyway, that's what's going on with me. So I'm hoping to take negative tests in. I've got my friend who her dad owns that house out in West Texas. She's got a COVID test. She said I could come get tomorrow. I'm probably going to go do that. Probably try to go ahead and take the test tomorrow. With that, and then if it's negative, I'll probably try to take another test on Thursday just to double check. And then if I'm negative twice, back on the road by Friday. Hopefully I will be, but if I'm positive at all, it's a 10-day quarantine. So So we'll have to wait and see what happens, boys and girls. Anyway, that's it. That's everything that I got for you this week. You guys know the drill. Keep your side up. See you guys down the road. Let's just hope next week gets better.